Everybody, how's it going this morning? I hope you guys have a great day. I want to talk today about fasting. So when I was younger and I went to church a lot, I was in a church where they promoted fasting frequently, and sometimes it was more than what I think we should do, but fasting is really good for people. It's really good for your body, it's really good for your spirit if you do it correctly. It's really good for your soul if you do it correctly. So today I want to talk about why we fast, what's some of the purposes of it, what it can help you with, and what are some of the misconceptions about fasting and why some people are afraid to do it. First of all, I haven't done many fasts in the last few years, maybe 5-6 years. I haven't fasted like I used to. I used to fast frequently. And I realized it was protecting my body and protecting my spirit more when I was fasting. There's a lot of things that are happening in my system over the last 7 or 8 years. And I was scared to start doing fast again because I've had acid reflux disease since maybe 12 or 13 years old. And it gets worse and worse all the time. And I've been taking a lot of supplements to try and get rid of it because I don't really like Western medicine. I've been to the doctor for a lot of these things with my stomach over the last 10 or 15 years, and very rarely do they find an answer, and they give me things that are like a band-aid. So I like to use nature, I like to use what our bodies are supposed to have to help cure my body. I have this situation, it's been since 2017, 18-ish, and it comes and goes, but it's bad, I don't really like it. So my esophagus sometimes closes up where I'm trying to eat food and it gets stuck right at the bottom of my chest right before it's supposed to hit your stomach, and it won't open, and I can feel pain and restriction. It makes me throw my food back up and it hurts. So I attributed that first to my acid reflux, and I've been taking this thing called Stomach Soothe to get rid of my acid reflux, and it's working on that, but I'm still getting the closed esophagus problems. I had a lot of it happen last week, and I look into it and it says it could be cancer, it could be ulcers, it could be a few different things, but I'm going to be doing different fasts throughout the next month once August gets here. I'm going to do a regular fast here and there until August. There'll be days where I do intermittent fasting that's supposed to boost your metabolism. Try and do 12 to 18 hours with no food, and then between 10 and 14 hours of food, but not too much. So when I do that, I'm trying to restart my metabolism and restart my energy levels. For the last year and a half has been pretty rough, so I feel tired, I feel run down, but I'm slowly getting my adrenaline back together. My nervous system is coming back around. But I want to do these fasts where it's a liquid diet basically. So it's kind of a version of Daniel's fast. So in the Bible it talks about how Daniel fasted from eating the king's food and having the choice meat that him and his kingdom had, because they took them hostage and made him tell him about his dreams and everything like that, and then he made him an important person in the kingdom, and he was offering him food, and he told everyone to keep him in good shape. When he fasted, he didn't have any meat, he didn't have any of the things that the king ate. He was having bitter herbs, I assume some water and wine, or one or the other, and he'd have fruits and vegetables and natural food, basically anything that's whole food. I'm going to give my stomach a break, so there's going to be days where I have just yogurt, smoothies, a little bit of ice cream, some days where it's chicken broth, soup of any kind that has no food in it. It's going to be like cream with mushroom or something like that. But there's also going to be days where I just do fasting with water and or tea, and that tea I'm going to have will be there to help my stomach. It's going to be like licorice root, tea, stomach soothe tea, things with ginger inside of it. I'm gonna try and heal whatever's wrong in my insides. But as I've thought about that more and more, I think that there's some spiritual things going on, because I've said it in one of my other videos. I think a lot of physical ailments are attributed from spiritual things. It says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers of principality and wickedness in high places. There's always high places in my life, that people and situations in my life that get me real worked up, and it's like my stomach is eating at itself constantly. It's like, buttons being pushed, or situations coming out of nowhere that had nothing to do with me or my fault. I think during this fast, whether I'm having days of no food and just water, or days with just tea and water, or days where I'm having liquid but no solid food, I'm going to pray and ask God for breaking all the yokes in my life. Because let's see, here's Isaiah 58. Got verse 3 through 6. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exalt all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? So, when I'm fasting, I'm going to ask for deliverance from some things, some situations in my life, some things in my life that I've always had since I was born, basically. 36 years I've had certain things I just can't shake off. I'm going to ask to be freed of every burden. It's going to be between me and God. But during these days, I have to stay focused on what's important, and that's drawing close to Him, making myself more humble, and continuing my SR streak, continuing my weights and training, continuing my meditations, visualizations, and do all those things in working together to make me stronger, and to maybe bring some strong, lasting peace in my life, not just for seasons. And there's something that's been on my mind that I have to seek His face for. And I'm going to ask Him to remove my desires in this life, remove my internal struggles with myself, and reposition so that I'm ready to go for everything else that happens. There is some really good benefits to the fast. When I was younger, some people would tell me that, or I'd read or hear it on TV as well, where their fast was for breakthroughs. And I believe that you can get some breakthroughs through fasting, but it's not always the kind of breakthrough you're looking for. Just like when you're doing SR, when you're doing retention as a man, that is supposed to help your seed and bring your purpose into your life, and help you have your essence in your body and stay there, and use it towards work or creative endeavors or spirit. It's the same thing with fasting. You're doing both together as a man. You may not get financial things. There's a lot of people, like I say, that are always looking for financial blessings. I'm not going to say yes or no on that. That's my cat. He's being hyper. Huh, buddy? Hi, buddy. But the thing I can promise is that you're going to feel better. You're going to be where you need to be at the end of your fast if you continue it and you persevere. So, when I used to fast a lot, the longest fast I ever did was 12 days. And that was water and Powerade, and once in a while just for my electrolyte levels for the potassium. There is things that happened afterward. I felt more clear in my mind. My body had more of a, like, get up and go to it. There was more pure energy. It wasn't manufactured or because of caffeine or because of anything else. It was because of the fast. So the fast, scientifically, on your DNA level, on a physical level, it replaces, it helps your body go from digestion mode to healing mode. When you fast longer than 18 hours, your testosterone can raise as a man. As a woman, it helps your hormones balance, so your estrogen, testosterone levels and your lacking in nutrients can be stabilized, and you're able to get to where you need to be. But for men specifically, the testosterone can raise after 18 hours, and if you go farther and farther, it stabilizes. It goes to a peak and gets higher and higher, and then it stops and plateaus, but it stays where it's supposed to be. It can help you with that. It can help you with your ailments if you have a lot of migraines or you have a lot of situations in your nervous system. It can regulate some of that. Although if you have migraines, it can actually sometimes make it worse. I've seen either way. I've known people who have the migraines, they try and go on a fast, they can't do it. It makes it worse. There's some people who they said it helps them feel better, and whatever was wrong with their body, maybe they had a lot of toxicity, so that would be cleared out. They tried 5-6 days, and then the migraines would go away. I do caution people, if you have like diabetes type 1 or 2 or hypoglycemia or anything to do with your blood sugar, don't go too long. And if you do, and try and start small and work your way up however you feel comfortable. If you're doing one fast, you just see it in the word fast, so things can maybe move a little faster. Spiritually, if you're praying for a breakthrough, it could happen in the spirit realm. You could get closer to God. You can become who you need to be with Him. It brings you humility. It brings you discipline. It's a form of discipline. We all have to work on discipline in life, because in this life right now, there's a promotion of a lack of discipline. It's just all about entertainment and pleasure and fun, and there's time and place for that, but we have to strive for more. We have to strive for what is our purpose in this life. Some of those questions can be answered. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you that those are people who think that everything's just going to open up and everything's going to get better. It doesn't really work that way. You do them consistently, and you seek God, and you meditate on your life, and you do inner work. You have to do all those things together. And I would say when you meditate on fasting, you focus on your physical ailments, and you focus on who and what are bringing you down, and what you can do to rise above that situation. And you never take matters in your own hands in terms of getting angry or irritated because you're on this fast. You should be trying to have a good attitude about it, trying to focus on other things than just food. Because I haven't done a long fast for 5 years, but when I used to do long ones, when I first started doing them, I would get cranky, hangry. So you'd be really hungry, and then you get mad and irritable. That's your body kind of fighting itself. It's like, I want this food. I want something that's sustainable in my body. I want something that's going to make me full. But the Bible, the scriptures do say, do we not live for more than just bread alone? We live by the Word, by the Spirit of God. So when you're doing these, try and either stay in your Word, in your scriptures, go for walks, meditate, listen to some music, do things to keep your mind off of the food and to keep your mind on yourself, on God, on development, on healing. Because that's what these fasts are for. And if you even see, there's some doctors, a lot of doctors that don't like people doing fasting, but the ones who don't hold to the Western medicine doctrines and some of the other things that I don't agree with, if they're just looking at things from an objective and subjective standpoint, you can see when they take tests and they do laboratory tests on people, or they take their blood before and after a fast, and they study people's DNA and their hormone levels and everything, there is proof to back up that it does heal you. It does bring back some of the things you lost. There's some things called NAD supplements that people take. It's supposed to help you not age as much. It's supposed to get rid of your old dead cells and replace them with new ones. But your body can do that on its own. But we have so many toxic things that we eat and drink every day and that go into our bodies. When we take a break from those things, our body goes into the healing mode. It goes into a mode saying, okay, we're not eating, so let's focus moving all the cells in the blood to other parts. So instead of going to the stomach and the heart and the mind, it goes to the mind, to the nervous system, through your veins and blood, and it purifies everything. Purifies everything. He's being really hyper, getting into everything. Stop, handsome. Alright. But it does all that, and when you do things on the fast, some days you'll feel tired and some days you'll feel really good. I know the first day it's real constant hunger, really, really bad. Second day it's pretty bad. So if you're doing a water fast, after the first 2 or 3 days you start to feel better. The hunger wouldn't come back until day 5 or 6. If you're doing a mix of different fasts like I'm going to do, and it's focused towards your health and breaking spiritual bondages and people, situations, and things in your life that are not doing well for you, that's not bringing you stability or peace of mind, then you focus on those things getting relieved, but not by you, by God. And you focus on your health. You visualize that in your meditations. See yourself getting healed. When you pray, ask God for healing and know that He'll do it. That is one thing I've always known, is that no matter what happens, there's always a way to heal your body. There's always a way that God intended for you to be healed. And it's through natural things. There's honey and things that the bees make. There's fruits and vegetables. I know a lot of the things are tainted now. We have a lot of GMO, genetically modified organisms. Our fruits aren't always pure and whole. But you go into like natural grocers, Whole Foods, Sprouts Market, some of the local vendors and farmers and farmers markets, you can still find fresher and better fruits than you can at Walmart or Safeway or King Soopers. You get those things and do research on all of your fruits and vegetables. Do research on what you're taking supplement-wise, iron pills, calcium, magnesium, zinc, all the things it does for your body. And you take those things while you're eating and while you're fasting. Those supplements will be transferred to other parts of your body. So I encourage you guys to do a fast, whether it's for spiritual reasons, physical reasons, or both. And I want to tell you about the different kinds of fasts that there are, and the dangers of some of them, as well as the benefits. There's a thing called an absolute fast. That's no food or water. That is very, very dangerous. I tried that in 2010. I went for a day and a half or two, and I was really sick. So I didn't have any water, I didn't have any food. That's basically the Moses fast. That's what Moses did when he was getting the 10 Commandments from God in the cave. And he did it for 40 days, 40 nights. No food or water. I don't recommend doing that I don't recommend doing that for any amount of time for anybody. But if something's really wrong with you and you think that that'll help you, try it for one day, but don't go too far past that. I had a really bad migraine. I fainted, got overheated quick. I lost my energy. I was weak. It was as if I did like a 10-day fast all in one because I didn't have any water or food. So there's the absolute fast, which you need to be very careful with yourself. Then there's just the water fast. That's what our Savior, our Lord and Savior Yahushua did. And he did it for 40 days and 40 nights. That was the time before he got captured and crucified. During that time, he was tempted, and afterwards he was tempted. So I think his body was the same as ours. I mean, he overcame the temptation. He didn't sin. But if that happened to him, you know that's going to happen with you. When you're on those longer fasts, the water fasts, like I said, you're going to get tempted to be cranky and angry. You're going to be tempted to kind of dwell on it and be like, I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. I really think that's just your body kind of getting angry at you, like throwing a fit like a little toddler, you know. The longer ones, I've never done one past 12 days, but if you're willing and ready to, if you have cancer or you have some kind of sickness and you're trying to do a cleanse, I would recommend doing that one or doing a juice fast. Juice fasting isn't necessarily biblical, but juice fasting can be very beneficial to your body as well because it's still in shutdown mode from digesting. All the nutrients you get are coming from your juice, and they're coming from whatever you're drinking, so it hits your bloodstream like a million times faster. It absorbs into your body, and your body uses those things for healing, and it goes very fast. So those ones, I've done a juice fast. The longest one I did on that was 12 or 13 days as well. Those ones get easier as they go along. It's not cramping in your muscles. You don't get that metallic taste in your mouth as much because you actually have something with flavor, and your body tells itself, you know, hey, there's some nutrients still coming in. I recommend for everybody, do these fasts, but do them, start off slow, see what you can handle. Don't overdo it, don't stress your body, because there is a point that you reach where you can do these things too much or for too long of a period, and it has the opposite effect on your body, and you have a crash, you have a nervous system wreckage. I don't want no one having that problem, so be very careful when you're doing those three. There's also the Daniel fast where you're putting away a lot of bad foods for you. So no junk food, don't have Twinkies, don't have cake. Limit your meat to little or nothing. Stick with vegetables, rice and grains, whole butter, things that come from an animal or from the ground that's not the animal itself, and not stuff that's boxed or packaged. Those are the main fasts that I know of. So you got the absolute fast, you got the water fast, you got the juice cleanse. You also have a Daniel fast, and you have, let's see, there's another thing that people do. They call it a fast, but I'm not sure exactly if it's in the same category. So you can fast by giving up certain things. Giving up certain things you know that are not good for your life. Bad movies, dirty films, too much social media, too much video games, things that stop your productivity. And those are a fast for your body. Those are for your mind and soul and spirit to stop doing the things that you were doing before. So whichever one you feel comfortable doing, do it with caution. See how it makes you feel afterward. And I can almost guarantee you there's going to be some benefits. Now, not everything's just going to open up. Your life's not going to get like a million times better. You're not going to heal all the way after one cycle. You're not going to get a financial breakthrough if that's what you're seeking. But the things I can guarantee you that you'll seek and find are some healing, more energy when you're off of it. You're going to feel less energetic sometimes when you're on it. There's going to be days where you still feel the energy or more. Your skin's going to get better. Your brain fog will lift, if not all the way, partial. But again, you have to do the fasts with other good habits, or it's not going to have the full benefit. When you're fasting, you should try and fully abstain from sexual activities or consuming too much entertainment and getting distracted through video games and TV and music. Well, music's okay, but the rest of it, be careful. You focus your intention while you're doing this on what your purpose is for doing it. And mixed with these other good spiritual practices and good daily habits, there will be a lot of good benefits, and it's different for everybody. It's not going to be the same road for everybody. Just like some people can go longer than others, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Some people can go 40 days. I've seen some, and I don't know how they do it. But just because you only go 2 or 3 days or 5 days or 1 day, or you're just doing intermittent fasting, that's the other fasting I forgot to talk about, intermittent fasting. That is very good for your metabolism, and it's good for your body to still get a slight break from digesting and focus on healing. But then when your food comes in, your body works faster and easier to absorb all the nutrients, and there's not as much waste in your system. So the word fast, you look in the word itself, fast. Those things just happen faster. It brings your body to a fasted state. And when you eat again, that's where the word breakfast came from. It's breaking your fast. When you eat again and you come off of these fasts, eat slowly, take little bits of food in, give your body a chance to get going again. You can't just shock the system. You have to ease your way back into it. Start off with a little bit of meat if you want some, or just rice if you're doing one of the longer fasts and you're not doing the Daniel's version. And slowly eat things like porridge, eggs, chicken broth with crackers, just for a day or two. Once your body is back to normal and you're able to eat again, then you can start eating whatever you need to eat again. But I recommend everyone do this as part of a lifestyle and not just as a fad or a way to get instant gratification or a way to lose weight or a way to get rid of your problems. That's not what it's for. It's in conjunction with everything else to help your system. And I just wanted to talk about that today. And I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.